Hello Nintendo Wii here, welcome back to Retro Break, and welcome to episode, I have no idea, of games I got recently. I'll find out which one it is, but I know I've done a lot of these now, and this is quite possibly going to be the biggest one so far. I've got so much to show you, so let's get started by taking a look at a few games that I picked up from Shogun in Stafford. And then I've got a nice little sort of heartwarming video to share about them that I recorded a few days ago. So for those of you that don't know, Shogun Games was the game shop that I went to while I was at uni. It was my local game shop, and they're actually closing down soon. Not because the sales are bad or anything, but because the owner wants to retire. So I did make a trip up there the other day with my friend Jack, and I picked up basically all the good retro stuff that was left in the shop. So the first thing we have here, and they actually gave me a really nice discount on the whole lot as well. So the first thing here is Robocop 3 for the SNES. Complete in box. It says 20 on there, but I think they gave it me for 16, which is pretty good. And just so you can see, there's the cart, and there's the instructions to go with it, so that's really cool. Another SNES game I picked up, this one was cart only, I think it was about a £5. This is Top Gear, and I was very impressed by this actually. It was way better than I thought it would be. I'd heard good things about it, but I'd never actually played it myself, so really happy to have Top Gear for the SNES, even if it is a bit sun damaged. And the other game here is Roadsters for the N64, which is okay, it's a fairly average racing game, not as good as Top Gear, but still really good to have, and it was great to support my local game shop as well before they closed down. Oh, and I also got Need for Speed for the PS4 as well for, I think, about a £5. Can't really go wrong for a £5, even though it's known by a lot of people to be one of the weaker games in the series, but from what I've played so far, it seems okay. And now I'm going to show you the video that I took for a video that's going to be shown to them before they close down. So I remember first finding out about Shogun Games way back in 2010 when I first started uni. They were there on the opening day and they were handing out little business cards. Back then they were called chips, and that was the first time that I found out about the shop. I was very excited because, as you can see, I'm a huge fan of retro video games, and I was very excited to find a place where I could actually buy games from while I was at uni. They were an amazing shop. I've got a lot of great games from them over the years, but the thing that I'll remember the most is the amazing customer service. I was the first person there to get a Wii U on launch day. I don't think there was much interest in the Wii U, but I was there, and there is a photo that's somewhere on Facebook, so I'll try and find that. The other thing that really springs to mind when I think about Shogun Games was when I went there on my birthday and they offered to either give me a free credit on their new arcade machine that had just come in, or a % off one of the games. Of course I chose the arcade cabinet, and I had quite a few games on there. And since I left uni they moved to a bigger location, and for the first time I went back to check it out just before they closed. I'd never actually been to their new location, I'd only ever been to the old one, so that was quite exciting to see it just before they closed down. But one of the things that I came away from that will help me remember them forever was this Gameboy Advance Sp here. This is actually the one that they used in the shop to test out all the GBA games that came in. So I'm very happy to have that. I'm very sad that the shop's closing down, but you've done an amazing job over many years. It's a fantastic shop. You've got a lot of people that really loved everything you did. All the card games, all the collectibles you had in, all the new stuff, all the retro stuff from my point of view. So I just have to say you've done an amazing job. Everyone thinks you were fantastic, and enjoy your retirement. Thank you. So there you go, that was just a bit about Shogun Games, one of my favourite game shops. Now here's a few things that I should have mentioned a while ago, but I haven't really got round to it. These are actually from a friend who has a YouTube channel here called Pixels Limited. I got these off him on Twitter. These are Snow Surfers for the Dreamcast, Crazy Taxi 2 for the Dreamcast. Both of these are great games, especially Crazy Taxi 2. I absolutely love that game. And the original Dead or Alive on the Sega Saturn. So really cool to have these three, and he did a great price on the three of them as well. Hopefully he's going to come back to YouTube soon. He hasn't done a video in quite a while, so hopefully he'll be back soon. I'll put a link to his channel down below anyway, so you can go and check out some of his earlier videos. So really happy to have these, thanks a lot. I'm just going to quickly go through these because there's quite a lot to go through, and I don't think I've talked about them so far. So I'll really quickly go through these Game Boy games just to add to my collection back there. This one is F15 Strike Eagle, a fairly basic flight simulator sort of thing. Roger Clemens MVP Baseball, again nothing too exciting. There is Super Kickoff, very exciting, and NASCAR Fast Tracks. So that's it for the boring-ish games, and another one called Scrabble. Now, there's 3 more here, and these 3 are a little bit more interesting, still nothing too exciting. They are Hands of Time for the Game Boy Color, which is a really cool sort of real-time strategy action game. Metal Jesus Rocks did a really good review of it, I believe. I'll put that in the description if I find it, but definitely recommend this if you're looking at some Game Boy Color games to pick up. There's also the Atari classic Missile Command. Always plays great, this one. Not quite as fun as in the arcade where you've got the trackball, but still, for the original Game Boy, it's definitely worth a play. And saving the best till last for the original Game Boy, this one's called Mercenary Falls. And this is a really interesting game. I'm planning to do an in-depth review of it at some point in the future, but I can say that this is one of the most unique games that I've played on the Game Boy so far. It's a really cool sort of side-scrolling shoot 'em up, but you're actually walking along the ground, something like Ikari Warriors or something like that, but you actually get to control 4 different people, and I'll explain it all in a future video, but there you go, that's Mercenary Force. Highly recommended. I think we'll move on to the stuff that I got from Entertainment World in Birmingham, one of my all-time favourite shops. I was there the other day because I went to see Brian Cox live at the arena in Birmingham, which was an amazing show. If you don't know already, I'm a huge fan of science in general, and I absolutely love going to all these sorts of different shows and events and hearing more about theories and the universe and stuff, so absolutely fascinating night. But I'm sure you guys are much more interested in what I did the day after, which is go to my favourite game shop, Entertainment World. And I actually picked up a lot of stuff from there, so where do I begin? Let's begin with just a few Commodore 64 games. As you can see from the footage that's playing now, the shop has got a lot more stock in it compared to the last time I was there, and the guy there said that there's even more C64 games, but there's just so much stuff in the shop you couldn't actually get to them. So these are the ones that I actually managed to find. So we've got Mayhem in Monsterland, which is actually a demo. It's unfortunately not the full Mayhem in Monsterland, because that one is crazy expensive, but it's really cool to be able to play a demo of it at least and see what it looks like on the actual system, so really happy to have that. And the next one here, unfortunately this one didn't load, but I'm going to try again later and see if I can get it to run. This one's called Crazy Balloon. There's also Super Hang-On, which is a really cool Sega arcade conversion. Unfortunately, the graphics on this one aren't great, but it's still cool to see. We also have a game that's sort of like Load Runner called Hectic. Couldn't really get very far in this one, but again, for £1 you can't really go wrong. There's this one here called Warhawk, which is a vertical scrolling shooter, one of my favourite game genres, so it's really cool to have a game like that to play on the C64. Another one that wouldn't load, unfortunately, but I'm going to try again. Some of these tapes are sort of aging a little bit because they are like 30 or more years old. This one's called Zoids, The Battle Begins. Apparently it's got really good music from what someone told me on Twitter, so there it is. So hopefully I can get it to work and show you guys some footage. But if not, maybe I'll find some footage on YouTube and just put it over the top anyway. Because to be honest, I don't really know what it's like either. And we also have, we've got a few more. There is MiG-29 Soviet Fighter, which is a sort of shoot-'em-up game. There's also, unfortunately, I can't get this one to load either, which is really sad because this is one I was very much looking forward to trying out. This is Tetris for the Commodore 64. Apparently, again, got a really good soundtrack, but I can't get it to load, annoyingly. There's also Saboteur 2 Avenging Angel, which is sort of like a side-scrolling action platformer sort of game. Really cool, and it comes in this nice big box as well. There's also this sort of adventure game called Freddy Harvest, which is a really weird name, but the game looks kind of fun, and it's got a sort of comic book style thing on the back there. And the last one here, possibly saving the best till last, certainly in terms of rarity at least, this is Blade Runner. And something really cool about this, I've tried playing the game a little bit and it doesn't make a lot of sense if I'm completely honest, but one of the really cool things is that it came with this original poster for the game, which is really nice, and it's in perfect condition as well. So if I get it the right way up, there you go, hopefully you can see that okay. Hopefully the light's not shining on it too much. Yeah, so really happy to have this. I might even put it up on the wall somewhere. And two more games from Entertainment World. They were Balderdash for the NES, which is a really amazing conversion of the original Balderdash game. This one obviously came out a lot later than the original, but it definitely shows. The graphics and the animation on this are fantastic. Definitely the best version of Balderdash that I've played so far. And unfortunately, I can't be quite as enthusiastic with the other game here, which is called Isolated Warrior. Wasn't really too keen on this one. It sort of reminds me of a futuristic version of Paperboy. Yeah, not really too keen on that, but definitely recommend Balderdash. So, they were my pickups from the amazing Entertainment World in Birmingham. If you're ever here in the West Midlands, I highly recommend going and checking the place out. By far my favourite game shop that I've come across. In the UK, at least. Now for my second favourite game shop in the UK, and I don't just say that because I live there, I say that mostly because of their Twitter page. That is Game Telford. Before we move on to Game Telford, I found two more games that I picked up in Shogun. I picked up Prince of Persia for the PS3. I think this was all of £1, so really can't go wrong for that. And this one I got from Kex in Stafford, which is where Shogun is. This is Forza Motorsport 3 for the Xbox One. I'm absolutely loving Forza Motorsport 4, so very, very happy to get the third one. I haven't played it yet, but I'm really looking forward to trying it out. There's a lot to go through here. These are just some of the games that I've picked up from Game Telford recently, because they've got a 50% off sale on PS3, 360, Wii, Wii U, DS, and possibly 3DS games as well. So of course I went there and I picked up basically every Wii game that was actually a game that wasn't just shovelware. These are just for the Wii, and there's also a few more for the PS3 which I'll cover in a second. So they are Blazing Angels, Squadrons of World War II, which looks really nice actually, it's got very good graphics. Tiger Woods, well, graphics for the Wii at least. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2009 All Play. Bully Scholarship Edition, and bear in mind that all the prices you see up there take half off because they were all 50% off. Red Steel, because someone from school that I lent the game to, I think now 15 years later, still hasn't given me the game back, so I know who you are. And yeah, I got it for 50p, so you can keep it, I don't care. Zack and Wiki Quest for Barbarossa's Treasure. This is one that I borrowed off someone in college, but I've never actually owned it myself, so here we go. There it is. And this game, which I thought looked really interesting, and I hadn't actually seen it anywhere before, this is called Tornado Outbreak. And from the looks of it, it's kind of something like Katamari, but it also has boss battles. Hopefully I'll try and plug the Wii in and give it a go before this video goes live on Friday. And for the PS3, we have, I haven't played any of these yet by the way, Stormrise. Don't know anything about this one, so let me know if it's good or not. LA Noire, couldn't go wrong for £1.50, that's an amazing price for that game. Need for Speed Shift 2 Unleashed, really big fan of the Need for Speed games, so couldn't pass that one up. And there's two more here, these didn't come from game, but they're Sega Rally and Duke Nukem Forever. If you haven't seen my video about the Duke Nukem series, definitely go and watch that, because me and Zach put a lot of effort into it and it didn't get a lot of views. So at the end of this video, expect to see it over there in the box, and please go and click on it because we had a lot of fun making it. And also from Game Telford, I got Tokyo Mirage Sessions for the Wii U, which was, I think it cost me 12 quid in the end, which is an amazing price for that game. Once again, I haven't got round to playing it yet, but I definitely will do. But as you can see, I've got a pretty big backlog. A few more games now, and then there's one unboxing that I want to show you at the end. They are Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy on the Switch and Steins Elite. I'm really impressed with what they've done with Steins Gate. It was one of my favourite games on the PlayStation Vita and PS4, so this game basically takes the anime and turns it into the visual novel. It's kind of hard to explain, but hopefully the gameplay that I'll put over the top here can explain it better than I can. But basically, if you've played it before, it's still exactly the same story, so don't expect too much new, but it's really cool to have, and I'm very happy to have it on a Nintendo console as well. One modern game that I have actually played all the way through to completion, or kind of half played and kind of half watched my girlfriend play, is Resident Evil 2, the remake. And we actually chipped in together and got the special edition, big box with the statue and everything, and we actually recorded an unboxing of it when we got it, but I've never actually done anything with the footage, so I'm going to edit it and put it here to finish the video off.
Hey guys, happy Resident Evil Day! Woo! Today I'm doing an unboxing on behalf of Nintendo Wii. I brought my trusty knife, and let's get started. I don't know what else to say. Invoice. We spent a lot of money on this. That's why we went to share. I don't think you guys need to know that. Maybe this could be music.
And that's why she's doing the unboxing.
I'm a huge fan. Well, we got a huge box. It is a huge box. But sit up. Are you curious? Okay, this is a big box. Oh, the anticipation. I thought it was going to come in pieces.
It's a big box in a big box.
The box in a box! Happy dear, watch
and it's upside down.
Pull the candle. Collector's edition. You like that it's a safe room box? Cue save music?
Yeah?
Confidential? Oh, we can't look.
Huh.
Right.
Is there something in there? That bit that says confidential. It looks like an envelope.
Yes. Ah, download codes. I will not be turning that round.
Ha.
It's got the outfits. Barclay Sheriff costume, Elsa, a character from the 2.5, 1.5?
Pre-release version.
Yeah, before they decided to change their mind and redo it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's looking like a map. What else?
PlayStation.
Yep.
What's on the back?
It's a poster of the police. Oh no.
Museum.
A museum. Warning, written authorization required. Oh, there's the game behind it. Files must not be removed. Was it like an art book?
We can do some close-ups in a minute.
Interesting, just like loads of different screenshots of the game. Oh, and there's the key box. Oh, one fun. Got all the keys. Made in heaven. Huh. And a steelbook. And I can't get very good lighting. Oh, you can see Nick. Special soundtrack. Leon S. Kennedy, right there. Hey, hot stuff, where's your gun? And your torch, where's your torch? That's it for this unboxing. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sure that we'll have plenty more unboxing series. Maybe not as grand as this one, but who knows? We may decide to go splitsies on other special editions. Last of Us 2. Yeah. Okay, so please like, subscribe if you want more content from Nick, not from me, because I'm not a very good representation of this channel, honestly. If you want to follow more of me, it's at Risu_Chew. So Risu Chew.